Hello and welcome to The Long View with me, Jon Jordan, where the journey begins. So we're playing a first user experience. So it's a game we're playing for the first time. This is Legendary, and interestingly, we're straight into the game. So we had no loading screens, we've had no push notification prompts, we've had no downloads of extra content. We are straight into clearly a game with fantasy elements and with match 3 elements. So shall we go through the tutorial, see what happens. Impressive. So we can see here I'm attacking these two kind of elvish dude things. I'm matching colours up, and that's affecting the characters I have. I think I should be doing this faster rather than talking. I should be matching a whole bunch. Yes, so I can power up my cards at the same time. So this is a US-developed game, but clearly inspired by Puzzle and Dragons, which is one of the has been one of the top-grossing Japanese games for a long period of time. It's been out for 4 years now, done $1 billion a year for at least 3 of those years. So definitely fulfills some sort of urge, and actually has been quite successful in North America, even though probably 95% of its revenues come from Japan. So in this game, obviously, match 3, people know about match 3, people are happy with match 3, and I'm guessing the meta game will be all about card collection, as we have cards in the action as well. So I should be doing this quickly. I guess that's the kind of Western, that's the gameplay kind of element where there's a bit of skill. So I mean there is skill in match 3, but I think the point of this is they're getting you to do things quickly. That's kind of part of the kind of draw. Western game developers always tend to kick against having interplay, whereas developers in Japan, Korea, China tend to be very keen on autoplay. It's all for them all about the meta game. In the West, the monetization tends to be about the meta game, but we just throw it up in a more kind of gameplay heavy environment. Heavy environment's not terrible. More gameplay centric experience tends to be what American and European gamers have grown up with. Obviously, particularly with Nintendo, I suppose Nintendo is still the console that's all about gameplay. Okay, so I've completed the mission. I've got a ranked up. No, not quite. I've got 3 stars. I've got some gems. So it's nice to get things. The clear thing about RPGs is you get loads of rewards. I've got gems. Looks like the hard currency, the thing you normally buy. And gold looks like the soft currency, the thing you normally get for free for playing. So okay, so welcome to Legendary. I need a powerful hero. Open a free card pack. So that's always nice. What they call reciprocity. Not quite sure if that graphic is right though. Do I just how do I choose my leader? Okay, that's a little bit odd. Starter pack. Well, I don't have enough. Have enough resources, do I, to get any of those? That's a bit odd, but I've probably pressed the wrong thing. Let's go back here, see what it does. Choose your leader. So, what are those things flashing below that thing? It's odd. I'll just press one of them maybe. I can't actually select them, that's odd. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that might seem like a bit stupid, but there's no reason to know I would have to scroll that up. I do think I would be a great games tester, because I think I am stupid enough that I do things that no one else would ever do, or don't do things other people would do. Right, so I've got water hero, earth hero, fire hero. Let's go for the water hero. That's the final evolution preview, so that's absolutely not what I'm going to get for Kita Frostbow. I'm probably going to get a pretty rubbish version of her. Let's see what version I get of her. Okay, curtain. Do I have to press it again? Probably. This part of the reveal. There we go. So she's not flashing. Well, flashing is the wrong word there. She's not pulsating with light at all. Is she going to be team? So I'm selecting team with. Okay, so that's her, isn't it? Keta the pirate. Let's put new hero to the test. Okay, let's do that. Main campaign. Scavenge, craft potions. Other things to be doing. I have to say this is still a very good first time user experience. We've been straight in, we're just doing game stuff. It's also a bit different. A game in portrait mode is obviously designed for phones. I'm playing on iPad, so it's not quite so kind of handy. But it just means that it tends to be the user interface is a bit more focused. I think the thing, as soon as things are in landscape, you tend to get these kind of interfaces or kind of game screens where you're kind of strolling around big cities and such like, which can be a bit confusing. Okay, guilds, yes, no, none of that. Adventures. What was I doing? I'm selecting an ally. Okay, so it's weird it showed me that unlocks at rank 4. Actually, I could choose one of these. So these are all different. I'm not going to choose the same one I've got now. Let's have a go with. Let's try her. Okay. It's very typical now with these RPGs. You can select an ally to. Normally in the early stages of the game to give you a more high power character, but equally kind of gives you an idea about how these other characters work, which obviously keeps you retained in the game, engaged, like, oh, that's a cool character, maybe go and work hard to get one of those. So that's pretty standard now that we have allies. Obviously it gives you some sort of social linking, even though it could be an AI call, maybe not, I know what I know, but it just gives you that kind of semblance of social glue. Okay, so five more, okay. Criminal values page over next to the technology. Okay, so is it going to let me do it on my own? No, it's going to force me to do it. Obviously, this is a time-based thing, isn't it? So I'm not going to do this to be totally fair. But that's the game. Oh, there's a thing what's it? Whatever thing what's it is. Okay. Can I go yet? I'm probably not going to do the green one. I'll get it now. Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm just doing my own sweet mess. Oh. I can do diagonals. There's a weird thing with match trees. Some of them let you do diagonals, some of them don't. Some of them draw over it. All have their own specific ways of doing it, which I suppose is differentiation in the market, in a very crowded market. I suppose we're doing matches of 5. That seems to be working with 3, doesn't it? I suppose 5 is better than 3. Oh, then 2 then, that's fine. I think one problem with match 3 is while everyone can kind of do a bit of match 3, or I can do it while I'm making the boss. I'm not quite sure. I've never got it. Never really sustained me for more than a few weeks, really. And while there can be a lot of strategy in match 3, it's just a little bit different when a lot of these RPGs now, card games don't autoplay, but a lot of the side-scrolling ones, you autoplay. Really, it's all about the metagame. It kind of doesn't really make sense to autoplay match 3, so it kind of means you have to actually play them all, which does become a little bit dull after a while. I see. I didn't do that one, did I? I only got 2 stars, didn't get the big star. Okay, but I'm up to rank 2. My max friends, well, obviously I'm going to max out my max friends. And I've won some other cards. Shall we? We're going to add a friend. Go on, let's add old whatever his name is, her name, Gentry, Phelan, Farsight. Win female battles and unlock guilds and live events. Oh, I can't wait. What's this one? There's an energy system. Well, it's kind of funny. You have energy systems now, but energy, as you can see, well, you can't really see, but it's shaded out. Energy systems now, certainly for the opening part of a game, basically don't exist. So this is a clever thing. Okay, so let's go a bit into the history of the developer. So the developer's called N3tworks, this is their first proper game. They have released, and they did release a Apple Watch game. Yeah, sort of. Like anyone cares about Apple Watch, but they did release an Apple Watch game, I think back in December 2015. This is their first proper game. Based in San Francisco, like all decent American mobile game developers. But they used to be, or the CEO at least, and a lot of the kind of staff used to be a company called NGMoko, who were one of the early iPhone developers back in the day. Did some more they did some development. We Rule was one of the first free-to-play kind of was one of the first free-to-play mobile games. And Eliminator was a shooter, whereas We Rule was a kind of like a castle building sim type thing. Very early, and they got bought by DNA, the big Japanese publisher that was on the up at the time. Definitely now no longer on the up. I spent, well, it's hard to say because the actual price was kind of a lot of kind of earn out was built into that, but it was, you know, anything between let's say $400 million that DNA spent on NGMoko, which at the time there was arguments about whether that was good or overspent, but probably now seen as an overspend. DNA perhaps wish they didn't do it, but you know, sometimes you have to try and see what happens, and DNA didn't really work out for them in the West. But anyway, the network, a lot of the guys, they worked at NGMoko, so they've been making mobile games as long as there's been mobile games. So push notifications are pretty important. It's a very good way of keeping people retained in the game. But on iOS, you have an official push notification set up. It can only be shown once. So smart developers are now having this internal splash screen that they fire up themselves. So I could go not now, and they could fire it up again if I keep playing. Because developers do want you to have push notifications on. The thing that lots of developers do is the first thing you do when you fire up the game is you get a push notification prompt, and then you go, no, don't want it, I haven't really played the game yet. But this is the way to do it. You have an internal splash screen that you can fire up as many times as you like. If I go turn on now, what's going to happen is the iOS prompt's going to come up. So this is the thing you can only show once, so you only want to show it when you're pretty sure the person is going to click on OK. A bit like political referendums. There we go, there's a UK political joke for those people who are watching from the UK. So I'm going into select my, oh, I'm going to do this again. Let's have the hairy booby man. Okay, let's see how we get on this time. Boom, boom, boom. I guess because they're all green, I should be probably an elemental thing going on here. Swap 2 adjacent powers of any colour to trigger a devastating attack. 2 attacks. So I should probably be matching the game or something rather than green. Oh, it's telling me what to do because I was so rubbish last time. So I should be matching probably blue and green, shouldn't I? It's going to help me. I can't match it. So I'm going to match with that instead. I'm lucky I've got okay. Oh, that went well, didn't it? Amazing. I think it would be a tutorial. Oh, a bit more to go. Quite nice you can kind of build these up beforehand, actually. If this kind of impressive thing can be done in a slightly sarcastic voice, because I'm definitely not being impressive. And I'm going to kind of suggest this is for me the kind of problem with match 3 games. It's like there's probably loads of matches that I can't see. Probably really clever ones that give me massive bonuses. It's just like, oh, I can only see the really obvious one. Often it's different. Probably got a prompt. There's always one, isn't there? But I can't see it, and you're laughing at me. Thank you. Ooh, what's going to do? That's going to be right. Impressive. I'm still going. No, I'm in the wrong way. Why did it let me do that? Well, is that no boss battle? Deep moss. She doesn't look very happy with it. Very green. Oh, that was good. Maybe I'm impressive. Oh, oh, good. Oh, well. I think the game's helping me out a little bit. Surely it's about time to level up some cards. It seems to be the next. No! It seems to be the next one. Still there. Yeah, that's going to do something big, isn't it? Hopefully. Get 3 stars this time? No, it's hopeless. Oh, 12 times less, so really rubbish. Got loads of cards there, so surely I can go and do something with these cards. They're going to let me, going to tell me. No, I don't want to do that. Let's have a look at my inbox. So inboxes kind of annoy me, that you get this stuff and you have to go to the inbox to claim it. There'll probably be some game that will have, you'll have an inbox and you go and claim it, and you have to go to another inbox to go and claim it, really. Okay, let's go and hit cards. Now can I, okay, yes, I'll manage them, I will. So she's my main lady. Let's power her up. What we can do? So I'm just going to basically power her up. I'm going to sacrifice other cards. So the whole point of this, the mechanic is called gacha. So gacha is you buy a pack of cards of a certain kind of guaranteed level. You don't guarantee what cards you're actually going to get, but you're guaranteed a certain level. So in this kind of case, the number of stars is the level. So if you get a card you really want, then that's cool. If you get cards you don't want, you basically use them to you consume them as you level up the other kind of cards you've got. And it's kind of called kind of gacha collection fusion. So the whole point of gacha is the randomness, the collection is everything is good to collect, and the fusion is the stuff you don't want, you use to power up the ones you do want, and that means nothing's ever wasted in the game, or at least the perception is nothing's ever wasted in the game. Obviously a lot of these characters are very low level characters who are not actually very useful and don't actually level up your characters that you care about very much, but there's a psychological kind of dopamine thing going on here. So but I don't really want to sacrifice a 3 level card, do I? Or do I? Well, it's not very powerful, is it? Okay, so it's telling me to do it. Okay, power up for 0. Test my fate. Okay. So this is another randomness thing. So accept fate. No, probably at some point then I can spend money to not accept fate. So I'm leveling up. When I get to level 15, I can then probably evolve the card. How do I do this? I can probably evolve the card and then that'll take it to the next. There's probably in my deck. I can then get another star. Power up, want enough money? Yes. Test my fate. 5% XP, cool. Watch an ad, do I want to watch an ad? Not really this time of night, but yeah, ads a very good way to for the developer to gain indirect revenue, and most people like them if you're gonna get something out of it. I mean, we all know we're going to end up watching an ad for Mobile Strike from NZ, because they're the people spending all the money. What happened there then? As I put all those cards in and leveled up to level 6. So as you can see, there's Power Up, Evolve. That'll be some catalyst there. And normally I need to be maxed out to do that. Awaken, which will be. What's this? What's this? Oh, fuse duplicate heroes. Okay, I haven't got duplicate heroes on. Okay, so there's 3 different ways of leveling up. And unequipment pulling me to take out my deck. So is there going to be any? Yeah, so inventory. What are these for? The catalyst, as we just saw. What are the keys for? Don't know. Unlocking things in the store and probably. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so this is interesting. Monetization. So if I buy this now, it doesn't have a price on it. Interestingly, just sizzling me. I get 200 gems a day for 14 days. That's 2 weeks. So it's like a subscription type model. Have we got any free card packs at the moment? No. So it's actually 200. Not that many, is it? Oh, if I like legendary, I can get 100 gems, which is not actually worth very much, is it? How much is 100 gems worth? No, nothing at all. A pittance. It's worth $100. Okay. So I think that's probably all we need to do so far with legendary. I think, as we'd kind of expect from an experienced US developer, very smooth, and there's been a few kind of card-based games recently. Obviously, Hearthstone. No, it's not recent, but Hearthstone is the one that everyone measures themselves against. Actually, DNA have one out fairly recently called Deck Storm, which is a bit more Japanese, a bit more complex. But it's interesting that kind of the whole lots of games now have cards. So I guess Clash Royale is the most casual, not this casual game, but it's the most casual game with cards, and has, I think, probably increased the market acceptance of cards. But this be interesting. So it's obviously a fantasy type thing. Fantasy, particularly kind of dark fantasy, tends to have a more smaller market than other genres. Card-based games, again, you would say probably quite mid-core. Match 3, obviously, that's pretty casual. So putting the 3 things together, does a kind of more mid-core, hardcore audience actually like Match 3 very much? I guess for me this would be the interesting pivot, fulcrum on which the success of Legendary will probably be decided. Do the mid-core like a Match 3? And I guess there's been Puzzle Quest, which has not been so successful on mobile, but has been as a successful game, which was kind of the first one to open up the hybridization of Match 3 in the West, at least. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. Thanks for watching the long view. So the long view is all about playing games for as long as possible. So we go through certainly the first time user experience, and then kind of a day 3, day 7 retention, then maybe day 14. Hopefully get to day 30, but if we churn out, we do a video on the churn as well. So if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, do subscribe and you won't miss anything. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.